This is Pittosporum tenuifolium Ball Kohuhu, and it's developed in New Zealand. It's a patented plant and very distinctive form, as you can see here. This plant has not been pruned as you see it there. It's about a 3-year-old plant, I believe. I see this one on my walks, frankly. This is in Pleasanton, California. And so the specs on this is I'm getting conflicting information. From New Zealand, it's saying that it gets about 2.5 feet tall and wide, and then Monrovia is saying that it gets 3 to 4 feet tall and wide. What's distinctive about it is the form. It's very good for formal effects. It's very prunable. Also has this smaller foliage, so that one of the bigger problems with things when you prune them is that if you shear them, you cut the leaves, and these smaller leaves are less likely to look kind of hacked up when you're pruning them. So lends itself well to pruning, much like a boxwood. Also, its lime green foliage is very characteristic of this plant. As you can see, it's this lighter green color. Some of the interior foliage you can see is a little darker, but the light itself from the sunlight seems to make this one lighter. Pittosporums in general, hardiness on this, by the way, is around 15 degrees Fahrenheit cold hardiness. If you're in a hot inland area and you're getting over 90 degrees and you have lower humidity, this would like part shade from the hottest part of the day. But this one right here is in a hot inland valley. It's in full sun all day long, and it survives it just fine. When you get that type of situation, best to give them some supplemental water if you're going to put them through that kind of a stress. So what I like about this is low maintenance. One of the things I do in design is I try and pick dwarf plants with a confined size naturally, so that from a maintenance standpoint, there's not a lot to do. The minute you oversize the plant for the situation you put it in, you're forcing somebody to decide what to do with it. And when I get something like this that's already got a nice tidy form, there are no flowers to deadhead, there's very little to do, and low maintenance is the single most requested thing that clients want in a plant, so it's good in that regard. And that size, this is what we call, this is very close to what we call the sweet spot in our office, and there's this medium to low size plant, and this is it that comes into play a lot excuse me, in residential design. So I like it from that perspective too. I am not sure about deer tolerance. Most of the Pittosporum tenuifolium family tends to be fairly deer tolerant, but I cannot be sure about that one. Water, once it's established, it is drought tolerant. Most of the Pittosporum tenuifolium family I find to be that way, and this is that way as well. That is what I can tell you about Pittosporum tenuifolium golf ball. I guess soils. This one is growing in very heavy clay with rock embedded in it, and it's doing just fine. Most of the Pittosporum tenuifolium family pretty tolerant of different soil types, so I'd say you're pretty safe there. That's Pittosporum tenuifolium golf ball. Enjoy.